Ho ho ho! Time for a Christmas catch up. Yeah, sorry, it's been a little while since you've heard anything from me. Did have a video lined up before Christmas that I was all like, oh yeah, let's get that out before it's actually Christmas, and nothing happened of it, clearly. So here we are. I'm going to show you what I got myself for Christmas because, you know, that's what happens now, isn't it? If you were lucky enough to receive robots from someone as a complete surprise, then well done. That's great. I'd love to have that, but you know, I'm at a point where it's like I buy so much through the year, and no one who buys me presents knows what's gonna come out, and only I do, and only I know what I've got and what I haven't got. And yeah, I don't think it's that no one bothers to try anymore. It's just that it's just like it's become an unspoken thing where I leave it to myself. So the Christmas tradition, which this year would now have had 20 years, I think. I think this Christmas marks the 20th anniversary of me starting this whole crazy mess. And so of course I've got some robots here because it's become a Christmas thing. What I've got to show you is a nice little haul, kind of small. I don't know. One of the things is bloody huge, so I don't know. Let's get something nice and old school out of the way that I managed to grab for a really good deal off eBay. I just thought, oh, let's look for some cheap, oldish stuff. I don't really mind. Let's find something random. And what jumped out at me was the Super X-brawn from RID. Yeah, it's the one that's kind of in those wheeljack colours. Like, I don't know, rally times. Loads of nice decals and markings, and just the kind of paint job you just don't get anymore. And to be honest, I feel like the whole thing of this figure, especially this mode, is stuff you don't get anymore, you know? Feeling like I'll do a review, feeling like I will, but I can't give you any promises because as soon as I promise anything on YouTube, it doesn't happen. That's the law of the universe. But yeah, man, this is something else. I mean, I never went for RID back in the day. I mean, okay, yeah, I did still get Transformers for Christmas of 2001. I got like a couple of spy changes, Ironhide and Mirage, but that was it for RID for me for a very long time. I wasn't into these guys for some reason. I looked at them and thought, oh, they're bad. Because I could sort of see that they're working on like Beast Wars engineering, but trying to turn into cars, and it's just got a robot with loads of car bits stuck on it. Well, that's not good, is it? But actually, this guy is just really good. Chrome on these railings. What are these bits called? The bumper, the radiator there. Open up the bonnet, and there's an engine in there, and that's all chromed as well. And all the hubcaps are chromed, and all the tyres are rubber, and like it's just such a nice, properly, yeah, down May Street kind of rugged rally 4x4 alt mode with all the stuff on there, the wild tamp graphs, and that particular, I'm going to say, font of Autobot badge that I really like. Yeah, it's just lovely. And then you transform him into a robot that feels like it's going to be a really complicated process, but it's not. And he's got a big giant arm, and he shoots railings out of his other arm, and he's kind of festive coloured. I don't know, X-brawn's cool, yeah. Certainly feels like the most Christmassy robot that I've got, you know, red, white, green, shiny bits, yep. Merry X-brawn! Moving on to some lovely more current stuff. I got a case of Power of the Primes Deluxes. I already opened Jazz like as soon as I got them because I wanted Jazz. It's like new Jazz, yes please. So that left me with Dreadwind. Oh yes, isn't he nice? Isn't he nice? So he's just, you know, mostly skydive again for like the third year running. But it's good. It's good. You know, I'm at the point where I can't knock the kind of mould reuse that's happening here because I know that this mould is solid, I know that it's good, I know that I like it, so I'm okay with them just kind of doing it again. I mean, check the colours. Check those colours. Ah, the Turk, the teal, yeah, what a look. Oh, mate. Yes. I don't know why the post on his gun is as long as that. I don't really like that. It doesn't look like a gun. It looks like something that you like dispense icing with. But yeah, he's so nice. It's just solid, but then again, kind of not, because some of these new bits don't really lock in, like the wing bits that swing round. Even though, of course, the actual wings are still Skydive's wings, they've just stuck them on a different kind of bracket here. Yeah, Drevman's nice, man. You know, the jet mode is lovely. The details on the wings. Oh, I like him. I like him. But yeah, because he is just, you know, mostly skydive slash air raid again. He's got, I think, yeah, he's got air raid's arms. He's just another aerial bot in different colours with a few new bits. He is a little bit wobbly here and there, but I can live with it. It's okay. He still comes off feeling a lot more just, yeah, there's a lot more to him. Like, he just feels thicker than some of the other Power of the Primes guys, the new ones. And of course, we're a little bit of a way towards my turquoise combiner, aren't we? I mean, okay, he hasn't actually got very much turquoise on him. If you put him into a combiner mode, he's mostly grey and purple, but listen to that chime. That's a proper combiner click joint. I haven't had that kind of beautiful ringing since like Breakdown. I think that's the spring doing its job in there. And then of course you kind of nudge his chest and this flap comes down and you can stick your silly hand thing on there, because I'm not going to talk about that bit of these. That's like, it's okay, maybe I will. These new hands are rubbish compared to like the combinables ones. I mean, okay, yeah, you've got like, it's like a bit more of a defined hand shape. Like, you can move the fingers and it actually looks like a fist, and the thumb moves and stuff, but you've got two thumbs, so it never looks right unless you pop one of them off and like stick that on some errant 5mm post that you've got on your combiner somewhere. And yeah, okay, that looks like a decent hand. Purple and teal fingerless gloves, that's quite a look. But it's just something, it's just like, no, it's, you try and make it not be a hand and it's just no good. It's just a block. And okay, it's got this lovely turquoise centre in there, and that pops out to make a gun, and then you cram your silly coloured blocks in there for some reason. Or, you know, have a lot more fun and put like Nightbeat's anguished face in there. But what is that supposed to be, you know? I mean, okay, yes, the fiction behind all of Generations since Combiner Wars has been so flimsy, hasn't it, really? It's like, oh, we need to make some story reasons to why they're combiners now, or we need to make some kind of reason why everyone's head is a small man. What can that work with? And now, because you've got the kind of weakest and vaguest kind of gimmick going on, where all it physically is, I mean, it's not like Headmasters, where you've got that angle of the head that is on the guy is a small guy that pilots a vehicle. That's a cool thing. You don't really need to explain the fact that, oh yeah, that head gives him special powers, and if you put it on someone else, it gives them special powers. No, I don't care. And the stuff with like the combiners as well, like, oh, enigma of combination, that's why everyone's a combiner. No, I don't need to know why. It's a play pattern, it works, just let me play with the toys. But this thing is like, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It's purely cosmetic. It's just, here is a different colour block inside this thing that goes on his chest. And from there it is entirely imagination based. And it's like, okay, you know, I'm not going to knock imagination, because it's always nice to see them push Generations a bit more for kids. But let's face it, everyone really going out to buy these are going to be looking at this and thinking, well, it doesn't do anything, you know? It's a play pattern that doesn't actually afford any kind of actual gimmickry. It's just a different coloured square in a thing that goes on there and it looks bad, and no, what is that? And if that is the reason why these new hands are just shaped the way they are and kind of bad, I mean, it's like, I would be singing the praises of them, because you've got like a bit of like a wrist joint with this peg moving, but there's not enough room for you to be able to move that once it's actually on a limb. And because of the fact they're not like dual purpose like the old hand feet, it's just a hand or it's just a block, it's just so boring. It feels like I can just throw them all away somewhere and forget about them until the point where I want to make a combiner. It's like the Dinobot fists. They're cool, you know, look at these massive knuckle dusters. Like, that's a statement, you know. But both of the ones for like Slug and Swoop are identical. And it's kind of getting to me that I don't know whose is whose. I mean, it doesn't matter because they're identical, but I kind of want to know, because even with identical looking hand, feet and combinables, there was a little bit of plastic in there somewhere that told you that's where that one came from. This one goes to Air Raid, that one goes to Skydive. But these are all just exactly the same. And I think even like the stopper pieces that go in there are the same piece, and it's just recycled. And there's just stuff going on with this line that feels a little bit half-assed, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I was really excited for Power of the Primes, thinking, oh, Combiner Wars 2, yes please. And then it just feels like the execution of it is not quite up to par. I can make a complete Power of the Primes combiner because I did go and get Starscream as well, not for Christmas, but somewhere in between opening Jazz and opening the rest. Quick thoughts about him: he's solid. He looks a bit weird. His combiner mode doesn't quite look finished, but it is rock solid. You know, as opposed to like every Combiner Wars torso where you would pick it up and you'd be bending some part that shouldn't be bending, or undoing things and arms would fall out or something. This combine mode, while it looks completely bonkers and a little bit like movie Starscream and kind of bad, let's be honest, is very, very structurally sound. But it's like, it's kind of weak still, you know? The design, the look isn't quite there. There's some kind of polish missing, and I'm hoping that that is just Wave 1 jank, because let's face it, Wave 1 of everything these days is just a little bit off, isn't it? It doesn't quite have the same rigorous QC or particular polish or any kind of stride hitting that later waves of every line get, because it's like, oh yeah, we know what we can do with this now, we're in the zone. Wave 1 is always a bit like, oh, what can we do? Listen, I don't know, we've got to make it as we go along a little bit. Let's look at some dinos! I didn't think these would be anywhere near as good as they actually are. I'm not a big Dinobot fan. Can take them or leave them, quite honestly. I don't really like them at all. But there is something I can appreciate for how those old toys look. You know, that combination of the metallic, dark silvery stuff and the red bits and the gold bits underneath, see-through bits, and of course they would have had cool chrome and all that. And these guys just kind of, they hit that spot like properly. Like, I've got to say, out of this first wave of deluxes, I think these guys are the strongest, just because they pack in so much more detail. Jazz hasn't really quite got that same level of like really intricate and really crisp small detailing that a lot of figures we've been having for the past couple of years have got. These guys do, and it's just great. Oh mate, some of the stuff is like trying to do stickers again as paint apps, and some of it is like sculpted stuff, and it all just gives them just, yeah, perfect kind of likeness. Swoop is great. I thought Swoop would be the best, just because he just looks great. I just love his proportions and the details and the colours. That just big gold cockpity pteranodon head chest with the badge right there, it's all shiny, looking like an old sticker, and thank God it isn't a sticker. And like the green bits on his cuffs, he just looks really good. I like the sword. I like the proper 80s silly Diaclone, just a sword with some random mechanical stuff going on it. Kind of annoying that you have to put it under his beak, like under his throat in like dino mode. There's nowhere else for it to go. That's the only gripe I've got with that. But look at the wingspan and all the detail, and he's all lithe and poseable and perfect for just aerial poses. But because he is so skinny, he does kind of feel not as solid and substantial, and a little bit like you're not quite getting your money's worth. But yeah, Swoop is nice. He just, yeah, that's doing it right. That's doing a new Dinobot right, and I feel like that's what this whole lot is going to be like. Because Jazz is nice, but he's not quite right. You know, his alt mode is weird. Dreadwind is not quite there because he hasn't got the cockpit chest, and you might complain he hasn't got a power must, but I couldn't care less about that bit. But Swoop is like spot on, you know? And so is Slug. Actually, I was thinking this guy would be the weakest of the whole wave. When I had them in their boxes and I was looking at them for ages, I was convinced this guy would just be a bit boring and I wouldn't quite like him that much. But actually, he's so rock solid and he's just a nice size. I mean, front on, he looks a bit too skinny. Like his arms look a bit too thin. He looks just a bit too small. Like you'd kind of imagine him to be just bigger. You know, maybe not bigger than a deluxe, like if you were going to put the team into that frame of reference of one of them is a Voyager and the rest are deluxes. Grimlock's going to have to be the Voyager, isn't he? Sludge kind of feels like he should be a big lad, but I don't know. Cross that bridge when I come to it, because I'm feeling like Sludge is going to be the weakest. Like he looks probably boring. But Slug here, yeah, I like him. I think it helped that I went and looked back at the Dreamwave profile art for the Dinobots and realised actually this is hitting a lot of what that particular piece of art does. Like the kind of grimacy red glasses, shaped eyes, face there. Don't give him blue eyes and don't give him normal shaped eyes. That's what his face looks like. And the gun with the kind of sight on it like that, yeah, that's spot on. Could have done with a sword. I think the only real criticism I got of these Dinobots is that they don't have enough weapons. Like Swoop needs his bombs that go under his wings and Slug needs a sword, but you solved the sword storage problem with Swoop. You have him in Dino mode, just give his sword to Slug and all the problems are fixed. Yeah, it's just great. I like how shiny he is. I like all of this techie detail that you've got inside the bits, like his legs there. And he just kind of hits all the right shapes. These legs being just massive clodhopper feet that are made out of just his dino back. Nothing here moves, you know. They could have done something a little bit better, maybe made his feet fold out so he's got proper feet. But something about that, it just works. Props for them printing a badge on an uneven surface on the inside of his mouth there. And, you know, you make him a dinosaur, and I've seen people call him a potato. He's a bit of a weird shape, but you can at least, like, adjust his head. You know, just angle that up a bit on the joint that gets it out of the way to combine him, and he looks a little bit more like a proper reptilian organism, maybe. You could go all the way up there, but that looks silly. Yeah, I've got to stop going on because I've really surprised at how much I like this guy, and I was genuinely convinced that I would just be like, oh, he's alright. It's nice to have him, to have all the Dinobots, but he's nothing special. And actually he is. Turns out all you need to do to make me like a figure is just give it loads of shiny bits. So I'll be stoked for the other guy, Dark Wing, it's called something else now, isn't he? Blackwing. The jet that goes on here, they don't actually tell you, you know, is what all of this is for. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I look forward to getting more Dinobots, you know, make a big Dinobot combiner. I'm not really averse to that. It's kind of like, why, where's this come from? It's against my canon. But at the same time, every other 5-man team in Transformers is a combiner, so why not? And then, of course, they've just showed off the new battle trap, or rather they haven't. It's been leaked. Someone nicked one and took some pictures or something. That is what I'm here for now in Power of the Primes. Just, yeah, make everyone combiners and then make people combine in different ways and even make the small guys combiners. Yes, bring me all of that good gimmickry. Before we move on to the big last thing that I got for a very good deal, just going to show you very quickly a couple of random Star Wars blokes that I got. These are the only toys I got as a Christmas surprise. R5D4 from the old Power of Force. Good old Power of Force. Good old 90s green boxes. That's what Star Wars is to me. And he opens up and he's like a missile launcher. Lots of detail. Nice good old droid. I just hope he doesn't go as like absolutely chicken korma colour that my old 90s R2 went. And a Force Awakens Admiral Akbar. Where's my book of frap? Right then, big boy time, because it's, yeah, I did it. Yeah. The Last Night Cybertron. Nah, mate, it's just a new Primus. It's just a lovely old Unicron trilogy beefy boy made brand new. Oh, something about that, like that Grimlock that came in that set in Age of Extinction. That's just the Energon Grimlock done again. There's something about buying a Unicron trilogy toy, but it's brand new, and it's completely, yeah, it's not going back and buying one of the old ones. This is a brand new toy. It just happens to be Unicron Trilogy, absolute solid chunk. Oh my god, this thing weighs a ton. Before I got it, I made a joke about like punting it over my garden fence. I don't think I could. I would break my toes. Yeah, look at it. Cybertron! Oh! Yeah, I can't decide which way round it looks best because, of course, it's doing quite a good job of being a sphere. It goes that way up, but I feel like that's a boring angle. I don't know. Yeah, it's purple. So what? You've got all these like properly glowy blue spires and stuff in there. I like it. I like it. Let's face it, you know, the real event is the big boy that is hidden inside here. So I guess we'll do the. Yes, we'll do the thing. Back in a minute. Listen to that. Listen to that. Oh, you don't get that anymore, do you? Boom! Behold your god! When this thing was shown off, let's face it, to everyone it was a complete bolt out of the blue. It's like, why? Why? What? What? Why is Primus bright orange and purple? Why are you doing this? What? Why are you bringing him back out for a movie line? What's going on? It's random. It's completely mental. I love it. And I wouldn't have even thought about it if this wasn't like a third of the price or something. I got this for 45 quid. 45 quid. That's less than the thing would have been brand new in 2005 in Cybertron. It's like, what? Yeah. That was a bit of a good deal. Toys R Us, thank you. Because I did see this in a Toys R Us and then looked at the price and was like, jog on, mate. They wanted like 110 quid for this. Like, what? You having a giggle for a figure that is like more than a decade old, really? And I would have seen in this very shop back in the day for half that price. But here it is. Oh boy, yeah. It's big, isn't it? And you can spend ages just looking at it. All the detail. Enjoying that clip. Oh yeah, man. And these bloody big fingers he's got. Like, it's kind of weird, really. He's got like overly long fingers, but that's cool. So yes, you know, these days it isn't quite as massively huge as he would have been back when he first came out, because you've got Titans and that, and I've got something that's practically, yeah, like twice the size of this, and this is supposed to be the biggest thing ever because it's literally the planet all the Transformers live on. But forgetting all that, this is just nice. Yeah, it's just it's exactly my kind of thing, really, isn't it? You know, crazy G2 colour scheme weirdness slapped on exactly the kind of figure that I just adore. Yeah. So his arms are a bit weird, you know, he hasn't really got enough swivels here and there, and like his feet are virtually non-existent, and these are actually quite loose. And I hear, yeah, that's a clear plastic joint in there. Maybe not the best for structural solidity, gotta say, you know, because yeah, it's really nice. All of this see-through blue stuff is on him, just makes him glow with this nebulous energy. But it's not exactly the strongest stuff, you know. It's like he's got, I never even knew, because I've never seen this in a review or anything, but he's got a little crane arms in his legs down here, but they're all rubbery because it's the clear plastic they're made out of, and it's like, that doesn't feel good. That's bending all over the place, and then they've got Powlings ports on them as well. And it's like, I would put something on there, but it would just make it bend and flop, and that's yeah, not the best feeling. But all in all, this thing is majestic, isn't it? You know, I love the idea that they obviously went with. It's like, oh, you know, Primus's robot mode is somewhere. It's all the deep inner parts of the planet, so make his chest glow like it's like magma, like the burning inner core of the planet is his torso. That's so cool. It's like the more you strip away of like the outer layers as you transform it, you get closer to this bright center, and it's like, yeah, I dig that. I can see where they're coming from with that. Because let's face it, you know, planet modes, there's never that element of any kind of geology, is there? You know? Everyone always just assumes that Unicron is just not really a planet, it's just a planet-sized, like, factory machine thing, you know? All this stuff churning away and working inside him. But Cybertron is always, like, shown as, like, actually having stone under there somewhere. So all of this, all the kind of lava stuff, you can imagine him just sort of sizzling away here. Yeah, I like that. Have to say, I feel like the return of Allspark Blue on some of these bits is particularly apt. Just a shame you can't get his eyes to like light up all the time, because I just want that kind of, you know, that Kirby stoic-faced space god crackling eye energy thing going on my shelf all the time. But oh well, can't have everything. So that's what I got for Christmas this year. Also got a new macro lens for my camera. And I downloaded loads of new software and stuff off a Humble Bundle recently that was like hella cheap, like Sony Vegas for like 25 quid. Yes please, even though I spent like 40 on what I'm currently using and I just really learnt to use it. Yeah, new things for the new year. New opportunities and abilities and stepping up my game that little bit. And getting out of my dead end job because I quit that, I'm finished, no more, thank you. 2018 is fresh and new and completely mine, and I'm going to grip it and ride it to wherever it is I'm going to go this year. So I'll probably see you in the new year. Get out of here 2017, you were bad. And maybe by then Battlefront 2 will have finished updating.